Fourth test. Here we go. So let's bring up a card. Let's add some extra. Oh my goodness me. Okay. Oh, that's probably. Oh gosh. Back the front. Too much light. If that doesn't trigger something, I don't know what will. Whoa, everything's upside down. Okay, so the Empress card. What have we got here with the Empress card today? Where is my trusty yarning needle? Okay, so the goddess, the tree goddess, in my particular card, is carrying a child. First thing that I got was not so much the child, it's about things being upside down. Not knowing which way to turn, which way to go. Even though the branches coming out of her head are showing you've got support, because energy for me down behind is your spine, it's your support system. There's enough support going on, but you're not feeling sure yet of which way to go. And sometimes that's the issue, isn't it? You've got too many options and you haven't had that clarity yet as to which way to go. So what would I do in that case? I would be using some statements to ask myself which one is more ideal for now, remembering that sometimes just because you go through a door and things don't happen doesn't mean it's the wrong door. You also seem to be challenging yourself at the moment because you want more, and you know that things aren't always what they seem to be. So you've started to take the rose-coloured glasses off. Okay. So you've been used to hedging your bets, and now you're realising that you've actually got to step over that comfort line. Notice I'm not saying zone, because you may not have clarity on where you're going, but you're clear that you want to do this differently now, because you've seen how easy it is to get the same old result doing the same old thing. Hello, we've got some people on here. Look at that. Melissa, hello, kia ora. Yes, I can see your comments, thank you, and that was the idea of doing this. Please, if you're still on here, let me know if the background noise of my laptop's engine motor is too loud, because then otherwise I will have to switch back to the iPad. Yeah, cool, great, it works. Oh, that was good. Okay, that's my left lung shrinking, paining me. So Melissa says, second comment, who is this for, hun? Well, to be fair, it's whoever it resonates with, okay? When I jump on here, it is a collective message. So some of you might connect with all of it, some of you might connect with parts of it. This is where you're developing your intuition. Yeah, and you can't hear it. Great. Can't hear the background noise. Excellent, because what I'm going to do going forward is I've got to work smarter, not harder with my lungs. So when I do a Facebook Live, I'll be live on TikTok, I'll be live on Instagram, etc., etc. And the cool thing about that is that when any one of these platforms goes a bit quiet, I can go to the one where there's more people that have come on it and reach more people. So there we go. And not everybody wants to comment, that's cool, but it's nice to see that this is all working. Okay, so where have I been? Yes, it's been a very long time. I had to rebuild I had to do a lot of rebuilding, and I did get very sick on the medical steroid, prednisone. Living in Christchurch and Otatahi didn't do me a lot of favours. Not where we were living. It's too windy. I didn't get outside enough, so I've let all that go. And then we had the broken leg on top. But without the broken leg, the icing on the cake, I wouldn't be ready to come back out to my public life. As silly as that sounds, because I was not able to do anything except go down rabbit hole after rabbit hole on TikTok, and part of that was getting better at doing everything online, really, and understanding what I wasn't doing appropriately and where I wanted to go. And because I have rebranded, yeah, so really strong now, and looking forward to getting my office completely set up, because it's been a while. And I'm just going to check that note on the other device as I can. Excellent. Good. Bear with me. Oh, goodness. Okay. My thumbprint has obviously changed because I can no longer get into there. Okay. I'm just going to check a date on something that's come through. No, never mind. Right. So, yeah, I've never seen things as an accident, even though you have an accident. You know, the leg also put me into a ward where everybody was connected with one person in my life. So that was intriguing to watch. I facilitated quite a bit while I was in the ward in the hospital, both with patients and staff. You know, so these things sometimes happen because you end up being in places you wouldn't normally be and connect with certain people that you wouldn't normally have walk into your life. So, was it a break? Yes, it was. Was I still working? Yes, I was. But that's how you meet some amazing people, right? Yeah. So, Melissa, let me tune into you and see. I'm just going to move the card that way. Yeah. So I've moved, although I'm connecting, yeah, let me explain this because this is important. I'm doing the connecting with the cards on here, really, so people again get to see how I work and whether or not my services are useful to them. So it's going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks to see what I bring through with how I'm assisting people on here. So I'm not doing readings per se anymore when I do a one-to-one on a video call. I do use them on here so that people can get an insight as to the language I use, how I roll, what I don't do. Okay, so Melissa, I'm going to tune into you. My head's just turned left, and remembering, of course, that I'm channeling a whole lot more since the last time I've been on here, so bear with me. Sometimes I go backwards and forwards even more than I used to. So I'm focusing on the attachment of the cord of my glasses, Melissa, as I connect with you. Now, there seems to be some sort of entanglement here with that cord, and what I'm hearing is that you're picking up stuff intuitively, but you're not making sense of the download. And I'm checking as I say that because part of it's your intuition and part of it's you getting a download, and you're not clear what is intuition and what is coming in a bigger sense. So when we have tarot cards, we have the major arcana and we have the minor arcana. So a big download is the major, the sun, the moon, temperance, the devil, the big life stuff. And then you've got the major cards, so you've got the wands, you've got the coins, pentacles, etc., etc. So your being, your system is not quite it's misfiring, okay? So if you've been finding it hard lately to kind of feel like you can guarantee what you're getting, you don't want to give a guarantee if you're trying to help somebody with a message, because you're not sure about it, because you're not sure which one of these two it's coming from. Now, you possibly aren't aware of all of that, but you might be aware when I use the word hesitation more before you land something on somebody else. So still looking at the glass, but this time I'm looking at the actual frame of the glasses. So the second tier to that, Melissa, is reframing something in your head before you deliver it will help, because that's how we know what resonates with us. So you can go through 3 or 4 different ways that you would reframe the message to somebody. And if it doesn't feel right and it doesn't sound right in your head, then don't say it. Keep working through it, though. Keep working through different statements. So that you're doubly confirming that that's what sounds right. And then you'll get the corresponding confirmation back from the individual, right? So some of it sometimes is also yours. That is just part of it. We need to be aware of what's ours and what's theirs. So what would I do to help? What sentence would I give you in terms of compassionate inquiry? Because that's where I'm going with all of this work, really, is helping you guys all understand how easy it is to help your own self with your own intuition with compassionate inquiry. So I would work through using statements such as, when did I learn that integrating 2 concepts should be difficult? Who taught me that fusing things together should be awkward? What experience in my past led me to believe something that's not quite true in terms of the assimilation of information? Now, number 3, that was quite big, wasn't it? Okay. But you can see where I'm going with that. Just listening. You cannot do enough listening, you know. And so, as I said, that sounded like my stepmom was in my ear, which is interesting because I've only reconnected with her lately because I've put my dad into care. So everything is connected. The more we listen, this is going to sound really weird, but the more we listen, the more we can see the connections. And I've talked about this once or twice lately on my Patreon account, on my videos, my short videos, is when I hear something, I see it come through, so it ends up in front of me after I've heard it. And for some of us, that's part of being neurodivergent. So for me, we come back to that double thing again. Partly it's because I'm psychic, and partly it's because I'm neurodivergent. So let's come back to the beginning of what we said for you, which was which part of you is struggling with receiving the bigger downloads, the major stuff? Why is that awkward for you? Yeah. Did everybody, when you were little, shelter you from the big stuff, even though you could see through it? Things like that, you know. Right. I'm going to leave that there because that is really cool. And that's enough for my 5th. I think this is my 5th test to go. So thank you, Melissa, for jumping on. An overthinker, yeah. So your question about the overthinking is that anxiety based, or is there something else going on? Yeah. Right. I'll leave that with you. Over and out. Again, thanks, Melissa, for being on and engaging with me on here. Okay, here we go. There we go.